Hello everyone, and welcome to the guided notes for Chapter 1 on Lesson 1.3. I think your sheet says Lesson 1.2, but it should be Lesson 1.3, the third lesson in Chapter 1, where we will be talking about grouping symbols. The only vocabulary term for this unit is grouping symbols, and they are intended to enclose an expression that should be simplified first. So grouping symbols could be parentheses, they could be brackets, or you may not have thought of this one, but a fraction bar, because that shows you how to differentiate between the numerator and the denominator, and really is an order thing, right? What do I simplify first? Well, first I do the numerator, then I do the denominator, or vice versa. But the important thing is that I have to keep them separate. You'll see an example of that in a little bit. So, as I said a moment ago, grouping symbols are used to enclose an expression that should be simplified first. So they help you to figure out, where do I start? How do I start this problem? Well, go inside the parentheses or brackets is the simple answer. Sometimes you will see examples where you may not have parentheses or brackets, and as long as you're following the order of operations, it is all right to place them appropriately. So back to when you do see them, let's go inside here. We're multiplying 6 times, doing that subtraction first. 5 minus 3 is 2. Now, some of you may see this as a distribution question, and you'll get the same answer, but the point is to familiarize yourself with the fact that parentheses mean that you should do what's inside first, and get yourself into that habit, because often it will make your life a lot easier. In part B, we look at 6 times 5 minus 3. Well, here the parentheses just show multiplication, and so we're going to do the operations in the order in which we're supposed to, and come up with an answer of 27. In number 2, here's that fraction bar in part A that shows division, and it's division between the numerator and denominator. So I can't say, 12 and 15, 3 goes into both of those. Nope. What I have to do first is simplify the numerator, which is 16, and then divide that by the simplified denominator, which is 12. Now I can simplify the unit as the fraction as an entire unit and divide both 16 and 12 by 4. In part B, here we see 2 sets of grouping symbols. So let's go as far inside as we can, and 7 plus 6 is 13. So I'm going to take 52 and divide by 13, and then subtract that from 18. So I'm ending up with 18 minus 4, which is 14. In C, I don't see any grouping symbols, but if it makes it easier for you to put some there, that's completely fine, right? It reminds us that we have to take 29 and add the product of 50 times 4 to that we're going to take 29 plus 60 and get 89. Now in D, I ran a couple of experiments. D doesn't have any parentheses or brackets, but it turns out that because we're following the order of operations, which again is that parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. As long as we're putting our parentheses around, in this case, the multiplication and division first, it really doesn't matter exactly where we put them. So 19 minus 7 plus, if I put that entire statement inside brackets and parentheses, we look at 24 divided by 8. Well, that is 3. So 19 minus 7 plus 3 is going to be 19 minus 7, that's 12, plus 3, that's going to be 15. Okay, now, if I were to put parentheses around a different part of this, I'll rewrite it in pink. If I were going to say 19 minus 7 plus, let's say 12 times 2 divided by 8, well, that would be 19 minus 7 plus 12 times, 2 divided by 8, that's 1/4. And so 1/4 of 12 is 3. And I've got 19 minus 7 plus 3. And there you have it, which is 12 plus 3 which is 15. Now, you don't have to get creative all the time in problems like this. You can follow the order of operations often with or without some sort of grouping symbol, but sometimes it's helpful to organize your thoughts to put some parentheses around, okay, what do I have to do first? Okay, in the last one, I ask you to evaluate, please, for 4x plus 5y divided by 3x minus y when x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 8. So we're looking at 3 times 3 minus 8. 12 plus 40 in the numerator divided by 9 minus 8 in the denominator, and that is 52 over 1. That is 52.